People say that leaders will follow my lead. Follow my lead. Follow my lead. I say they're made. Let's go. King of the free world, leader of this whole thing. That's how I feel when I'm running with my whole chain.
Splits some hairs and stretches it the way it needs to be. Breaking news out of UFC, Jon Jones is a drug addict. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Why am I going there? Because this is the exact same company that chastised World Wrestling Entertainment for its drug policy, but yet, according to sources, Dana White has no intention on issuing any punishment towards Jon Jones for a little partying before he actually fought Daniel Cormier on this past Saturday night. Now, here's the problem I have with this. I don't have my head up my ass, but I'm pretty sure that Dana White does. Why, you ask? Because apparently, he does not know the difference between fantasy and reality. Bottom line is, Jon Jones deserves to be stripped of the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. This is not the first time that they've had problems with basically drug tests. This isn't the last time they'll have problems with drug tests. Hell, they just sat here and gave Chael Sonnen his walking papers for drug reasons. They banned Wanderlei Silva because he apparently wouldn't take the test or failed the test, whatever the hell the case may be. And then on top of that, this still goes back to the very fact that Dana White quite possibly has a hard-on for Jon Jones. So much so, in fact, that Jon Jones is the only champion in UFC history, or at least in the UFC up to this point, that has not had to forfeit, relinquish, or even be stripped of his championship, despite an injury, despite not honoring up on his contract at the right times, and then there's the whole drug thing. So apparently Dana White wants to make it to the point where everybody feels good about Johnny Bones. I can't. As much respect as I had, keyword being had, for Jon Jones, the man, I guess the best way to say it is liar, liar, pants on fire. And all I gotta say about this is that Jon Jones has pretty much done everything in his power to make himself seem like a saint, and that this was a rare extenuating circumstance, that this was a coincidence. Well, rule number 32 there, Johnny boy. I don't believe in coincidences, and there is no such thing as them. Something has to give here. Now, it's obviously clear that some repercussions need to be done, but the question is, does Dana White have the balls to actually do it? The answer is no. Unfortunately, the world that we live in isn't not only just black and white. Apparently in Dana White's world, it's a bona fide classic. In all flipping honesty, Dana White knows that he needs to do the right thing and strip Jon Jones of the light heavyweight championship. The problem is that he may feel that somebody else may not be able to live up to the hype of Jon Jones. Who gives a rat's ass to live up to the hype of Jon Jones? Obviously, Jon Jones didn't care about the hype. Otherwise, he would have done the right thing. It's time for UFC, it's time for Dana White, and it's time for Jon Jones to quit living life like it's a big, giant blur. The bottom line is that as much as they want to see the world in a Technicolor Dreamcoat fashion, the bottom line is that Jon Jones fucked up. Dana White knows he fucked up, and the drug test proves that he fucked up. You can make all the excuses until the cows come home. It doesn't make a lick of difference unless you get Jon Jones to relinquish that title. And I'm sure, in all honesty, that everybody will eventually cry themselves a river because of the fact that Jon Jones is no longer going to be UFC Light Heavyweight Champion. Don't care. Get over it. Get over yourself. Let it go. Let it go. All you whiny trolls, let it go. That's all I got to pretty much say about it. Bottom line is that you spent all that time sitting here going off on the WWE for their drug policy, saying that there's no way you guys would ever put yourselves in that position. Guess what, Dana? You're in that position. As much as you want to sit here and try to wipe everything and make everything look like it's actually completely fine, the problem is that you're seeing it from two different directions. But it's okay, because you were under the impression that everybody on the planet is literally walking around with their thumbs up their asses and their noses up in the air with the impression that they're not going to know exactly what's going on. But, in all fairness, in a pinch, You can easily be able to find yourself with enough cojones to make yourself the man that you're supposed to be. Dana White, you have to do the right thing and you have to let this happen. You have to remove that title. This man is your called pound for pound champion, but the problem is that he's proven that he's nothing more than a guy who apparently doesn't know the difference between energy drink and some good smack. But apparently that smack is closer than it appears. And the reality is that Jon Jones most likely is not going to be stripped of that title because apparently Dana White's balls are still stuck in GSP's pocket. So this whirlwind of controversy that's going around UFC is going to make things very interesting because UFC has the opportunity of a lifetime to do the right thing and do what's best for business, and they're not going to do it. Which means that even when Jon Jones comes out of rehab, he's still going to be the man. He's still going to be that guy, and he's still going to be continuing to be the UFC light heavyweight champion and continuing to make a proverbial splash in the world of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Why? I don't know why. I wish I knew. I wish I could read Dana White's mind and wonder in my head what the hell the man's thinking. It's like he lives in an upside down world and everybody apparently needs to just get on ball with him and get on point and realize that no matter how much people sit here and say this needs to happen, and no matter how many people are saying that this is damaging the credibility and the ability of the Ultimate Fighting Championship after all the bad scrutiny they got when they first came out and when they almost hit rock bottom and almost went out of business, still people are looking at not looking at the bigger picture. They're only looking at the fact that basically the more Jon Jones sells tickets, the better their wallets are going to be. But in all honesty, I guess they have a valid point. It's all good and dandy because apparently Jon Jones is going to save the Ultimate Fighting Championship. What exactly is he going to save you guys? A ton of money? He's going to keep bringing in those dollar bills? Well, unfortunately, it's just not going to happen as much as they wanted to. Jon Jones is going to be the reason of why UFC fans are going to start turning away from the sport. Because when you have a drug addict as your champion, everything starts becoming a little thinner, especially the wallets. So bottom line there, John, you know what you have to do. Dana White, you know what you have to do. It is time. Obviously, you can't keep seeing things in a big giant blur. But, you're going to anyway because you're you and I'm me and John is John. So even though John literally has made all these apologies, he obviously knew what he was doing. He obviously knew what was going to happen, but yet for some reason, you still let him do it. In fact, that's probably Jon Jones right now sitting here blowing up the phone, getting pissed off because I just called him on his bullshit. Don't give me this crap about how you knew exactly what you were doing there, John, because the bottom line is, even you knew that you were going to go up in flames the very moment that it happened. But it's all good and dandy because Dana White apparently knows what he's doing, Jon Jones knows what he's doing, and apparently the world, the sports fans, the UFC world, even CM Punk himself have no fucking clue what we're doing. We're just supposed to follow Dana White into hell and hope that Jon Jones can make the devil tap out. Not for my money. Dana, look in my eyes. You know what needs to be done, so make it happen. Spin the captain. This has been a special edition of TLC. I'll see you kids Friday night.